talking in tongues.
Interesting. No one is weird.
No. I'm different. Okay.
It's no one is different. Everyone is. You have your own interesting.
I would do things that you probably would do.
That just make you who you are. It's not weird. When you say when you say weird, you put yourself in a box of being indifferent. When no one is not different, everyone is interesting on their own level. So everything you do is the weird is like a bad connotation.
So
interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, everyone, because everyone is interesting. No one is quote unquote weird. Weird is an alien. I think that's. If you everyone have their own interesting niche, and the reason why I asked that because my granddad is a pastor, but I wasn't highly raised in the church. But as far as religion, I always questioned it. Me knowing that Christianity was found in 1604, and life on Earth being 400,000 years ago, I had like a very hard battle back going to like the way I think as far as like negotiation. Things got to make sense, and religion never really made sense to me. So when I asked you about saving your giving your life to Christ, what I got out of that is what I have did at the same time, but it wasn't giving my life to Christ. What I to help me modernize what you said and reflect that from someone who's not as religion, that equates to giving my life to Christ. I would say I have learned how to surrender my will to my Creator, meaning that the things, even though I have the free will to do anything, but however I want to surrender that will to my Creator to reflect the things that He is doing inside of me, and have God to reflect Himself through me. You know what I'm saying? So as far as when people say give their life to Christ, that's something that registered with me, because I just feel like religion is, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or anything. I just feel like it's control.
Yeah.
It's religion is like control. It's religion and government is the same thing. It's all these rules and principles and things of how you should, live as a person under quote unquote Christ, when Christ, the same spirit that came through Jesus, lives in all of us. I used to hear Kanye say, I am a God, and I was like, what? But now, since I have like an understanding of, being able to fathom that the God that higher being that lives in us, you know what I'm saying? Like even with the analogy of heaven and hell, they say when you die, if you ain't saved, quote unquote saved, you going to hell and you burning internally. But what type of burning was that? Because if you paint yourself right now, my body felt that, but my soul didn't. And I feel that my philosophy, my thing of 25 years, I feel like Tevin don't die. I can't die. My body passes away. This carbon in this earth. But I feel like your soul and your spirit, that is very godly. And I don't feel like Hakira die. I feel like your body is gonna die, because that's just the physics of being a human being. But your soul is something that lives forever. You know what I'm saying? So just hearing when people say giving their life to Christ, it's like,
no, I
you are Christ.
Yeah,
I find that's definitely, it's different. One thing I would say with the whole piece that influenced my decision was more so, again, growing up in the church, and my grandmother. I wouldn't say I did research because I feel like the more research I would do on the topic of religion would kind of basically pull me away from what my grandmother instilled in me. And I just kind of in my heart, in my mind, I believe that, you know, my grandmother wouldn't steer me in a wrong direction. So I would say I wouldn't say I did it for her, but I did it because of her. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, but I know that religion, the more you dig into it, from what I've heard, can definitely take you.
Yeah, because that's religion. If even with slavery, when slavery was introduced, you know, the way that they manipulated slavery was through Christ, Jesus, like becoming a Christian and being manipulated to come to this new life with Christianity, and then we get over here and then this is, you know, not the Christianity that we wanted. Even, you know, with the hymns and the singing of the slaves, you know, of reaching a better life, you know, it kind of like stagnated us as a culture to not try to live a best life today, but try to live a best afterlife, and not being able to focus on like the present. I kind of went after thinking about that and that being my truth. I went into like a Buddhist type of lifestyle of living in the present, and it kind of like shocked me up as far as like who I am. And I did more research on, you know, like the census of black people when we came over here. Not everybody that is black is from Africa, but the person who created the census when the slaves came over here, you know, they said black. If you was black, Indian was black. So it was a not even a heritage or a ethnicity. It was a color of your skin. So Indians was black, and African Americans was black. So then on the census of collecting data on race, we was intertwined, and that had us to our history and lose who we was, because now we just say we're black, and not all black people is African American. So I could be saying, well, I know where my heritage come from, but it's a lot of us Southerners that say that we black and we thinking that we African American when we just American. You know, we ain't even African. We not even from. Some of us is not even from Africa. Mm-hmm. But the white man, the census, effed us over on losing our identity with religion and who we are, what color we are, with race. Because if you go northern blacks, well, in like New York and all that on the East Coast, if they black, they know their heritage. Like they know more. They know, you know, where they come from. But us Southerners, we just know we black. We don't know any other traits of our ethnicity. We don't know our nationality. We just know we black, and that's so Southern because we still Confederate in a way of lifestyle, and Confederate is racist, and racist is backed by, you know, slavery. I mean, dude, my granddad was just a pastor. I didn't even go to my granddad's church. We had our own church.
What church was it?
Mount Pleasant Baptist Church. It's in Sandersville. Yeah. But yeah, I think. Yeah.
You still here?
Huh?
Is he still alive?
What?
Your granddad?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still alive. And his teachings have became more different though. But that religion thing, it really bothers me to. I feel like it's a truth. I just feel like it's a story, you know. I just feel like it's a story of like you are Jesus. We all are Jesus. We all can have and use the analogy of the book of the Bible for our own lives. Like, you know, your beginning, your Genesis. That's just the Genesis of Jesus. And of course there have been philosophers and masterminds who have been able to like know that history repeats itself. So the book of Revelations, when it said, you know, there's gonna be times when mothers against daughters and fathers against sons. History repeats itself. You know, we see our mothers say they like the things that we do, they did. And I'm quite sure our mother parents done told our parents that they do. So history repeats itself. But the book of Revelation has us thinking that, the Bible said that. The Bible said, you know, history is a infinity cycle. You know, it repeats itself. So I don't sometimes all my life just always hearing my grandparents say, the book of Revelation is the world is coming to an end. The book of Revelation revealing itself that it's true. I just feel like that was all. It's just mind games. I already answered.
So what is your idea of success? What is success?
Oh, okay. So my idea of success, I would say, happiness, health, and wealth. So with those parameters, of course, it's an umbrella of big general things. I think that there's no way you can be quote unquote successful and you're not in health. Like your health is not together, because health is like the number one priority to regulate anything, any aspect of your life. So once you get that down, your mental health is, you know, it's kind of the first. Because if your mental is not right, you can't even be able to have like physical health. So mental, physical, and then all the materialistic things that society have constructed to think that equal happiness, you know what I'm saying, as far as tangible things. But first you got to get the intangible things in line, which is, you know, like mental health. Then I used to be so like materialistic means wealth, to like now after I done, you know, gain like expertise and knowing like adulthood, to having to look at someone as successful, then having to actually discover it for myself, and it's not as superficial as I would have thought, you know, 7 years ago. And my idea of money is way different now. You know, money is like freedom points. I look at money like freedom points. The more money you have, the more freedom you have. So each dollar is a freedom point that gives you more freedom. So I try to look at money in a way of like freedom, and not in such of a currency. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about Oprah, she got a lot of freedom to do anything that she want to do, all because of her freedom points, which is equivalent to money, I would say. What else I will say for success? Yeah, man. Yeah. And being current. Yeah, that's it. I can't squeeze anything else out of my. What about you? What's success for you?
To me, honestly, like I do agree that it's a mental aspect. You believe that you're successful. I believe that you're successful. I asked my younger sister, mind you, she's only 10, 11. I asked her what her idea of success was. She said, doing the right thing, winning, and never giving up. I said, okay, have you won? She said, yes. I said, have you done the right thing? She said, yes. I asked her, has she, whatever the third one was, she said, yes. So in your mind, you are successful. And I just feel like, just in society, again, we allow society to basically dictate what success is to us, and we basically we're on a forever endless pursuit trying to achieve those things that society has deemed as successful.
Yeah, and as I'm 25 now, I have learned to accept emotions that I used to throw under a rug, where even if I'm feeling this way, didn't know how to feel it, I used to act as if it didn't exist and sweep it under the rug, to where today, if emotions come, I don't let it. I feel it. I express it instead of living socially constructed on what it is to be like a black guy, and like with today's world of hypermasculinity with being a man, that can be very that could be a sickness. I feel that I had to break away from was hypermasculinity and learning how to carry other emotions. Drake it out, I would say. Drake ain't I think that with the way that Drake is, from him being a public figure, I think that society can reflect that a man don't always have to be hyper masculine to be someone. And even though they throw jokes at Drake, but I bet his mental is so much fluent and tangible. And even with suicide rates, men have, because I'm my major sociology, men have higher rates of suicide off of hypermasculinity. Women have more thoughts about suicide, but men actually kill themselves more than women because of stigmas of what a man's supposed to be. You know how when you growing up, when a little boy's crying, your dad hits you stop being a punk. You men be put into these boxes of what it's supposed to be as success and as a alpha. You know what I'm saying? And you had to break those barriers. Wow.
Oh my God.
I just want to salute all the people who works 9 to 5s. I was a preschool teacher for a month, and I just said, you know what? I can't do this. This is not for me. I love the kids, but the sacrifice of your time that you have to put in, it is, I don't think I have that much of selfishness in me. So I just want to really, shout out to the people who that's able to just give they selves without a return in capital. Like he said, I'm everything in my life I correlated with business and a profit, and in profit, it's just that's, I don't know, that's very amazing to hear. People like you just said. I mean, I would definitely to be in the position or even have that mentorship that you gave, but at the same time, if I'm sitting up doing that, I'll be okay, is this making me money? But that's so great that you don't have to you don't have that attachment with liquid asset that way. That's dope. Yeah. If I ever can have a organization or nonprofit, I would definitely like to have someone like you on board, on the board of directors, and that's something, we have on film, have on camera, you know what I'm saying? Make it what's popping. That's funny, but yeah, I'm happy to see my class. We classmates. I was just telling Taris on our way home, man. This is really like a time machine. Today, me. If you think about it, last time me and you, Hakira, seen each other was May the 19th, 2011, at 7 p.m. and today is July the July 14th, 2018. 7 years. So that's like we just hopped in a time machine, you know, and now we just got back out the time machine to 2018. Like, well, we here now. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it and use that in an analogy of saying like we graduated and we was like, I kind of think like this, you know, like we just graduated and saying let's hop in this, let's skip to 2018. Now we just skip to 2018 and now we're here reflecting on 7 years. That's a lot. Things done. Transition. We definitely not the same. Because I just knew at 25 I was just gonna. I just thought I was gonna be a doctor. Like, now I'm not a doctor, and now I don't want to be a doctor, and now I'm just now realizing what I want to do and what I will be doing. Yeah. Do you see yourself living in Nebraska within the next 5 years?